From fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada, it's Casino Secrets with Vegas Vic and Ziggy.
Hello everybody, I'm Vegas Vic and we are sitting here in fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada. At least right now it's about 110 degrees outside, but inside where we are it's nice and comfortable. And our broadcast today is going to be about casino and casino games and all sorts of interesting stuff. So thank you very much for joining us. It's been quite a while since our last broadcast. There's been a lot of things that were happening, not only here in Las Vegas, but around the country and a lot of different places. So before we begin, a couple of quick notes that I want to let you know. I have two new books coming out. One of them is this one. It's called Casino Poker. And let me hold it up there. I think you can see it over there. It's called Casino Poker. And basically this is mostly about Texas Hold'em, and it's about how to play some of the most troubling hands in the game. By those I mean big pairs like aces, kings, queens, and middle pairs like aces, kings, queens, and jacks, and then middle pairs like tens and nines and eights and small pairs, suited connectors, ace, king, and basically how to play them in the blinds, in early positions, middle positions, late positions, in cash games as well as tournaments. And there's also a section about theory versus reality, and also a little bit about online poker and so forth. So this book is now available. If you want to look it up and get more details, just go to my website, which is morecasinodeals.com. And right there on the homepage, there's a picture of the cover that I just showed you. This is it. And you can just click on the picture and that will take you to the more details. Now, my other book is this one. This is called Great Casino Slots, Volume 4. And this is the fourth installment in my series of Great Casino Slots. And this book has about 80 or so of the latest, greatest, and best and hottest casino games. And it shows inside it you have pictures and details about the casino games. And the purpose of this book is to show you what these games are, what they play, how they play, what they pay, all about the bonus rounds, and to actually show you what they look like so you can find them easily in your favorite casino, and most importantly, for you to learn all about them and how to play them before you actually have to spend your own money in the casino. And that's the reason why I write this series of books about casino slot machines. Now, both of these books that I just showed you are available as ebooks as well as paperback. Now, the ebook, if you're a member of Amazon Kindle, and the ebook is, you can read it for free. If you want to buy it, it's $3.99, and the paperbacks are about $12 to $14 depending on how big they are, and that's because they're pretty big and heavy to buy. Anyway, so those were some of the things that I've been up to the last 6 months or so since our last broadcast. It takes quite a long time to actually write these books and put it all together and get it all organized, so that's one of the reasons why it's been a little while since we've been here in front of the Periscope broadcast. Now, Ziggy, you're off camera over there. Have you found yourself with somebody that asked us a question yet?
There have been no questions asked.
No questions?
Not yet. No,
not
because the audience is still getting used to you. I'm putting in there your link to morecasinodeals.com, so they can get the books.
Yeah, all right.
And also I put in there that, ask Vegas Vic your poker questions.
Yeah, poker questions or questions about slot machines or basically about anything to do with casino, or Las Vegas or any of your interests. And
a lot of my viewers on my broadcast are always asking me if I play slots, and I say no. They're boring. You hit a button and that's it. Then you hit a button and that's it. You've written an entire book, more than one, about slots.
Right.
So,
I think
now, do you want to answer questions about specific casinos or just the games in general?
Depending on which casino it is, if I know it really well. I mean, I've been to all of them, but I don't go to every casino every day. So,
well, someone wants to know what casino takes the biggest pot.
What casinos takes the biggest pot? Okay, well, there you mean in terms of poker?
I would assume poker.
Okay, well, you see, poker in the lower limits is generally ranked at anywhere from 5 to 10%. Most casinos now rake about 10%, and that's called an early rake, which means that they rake the 10% up front. as soon as the pot gets a specific amount of money. For example, if the maximum rake is $5 and they rake at 10%, so as soon as the pot reaches $50, they rake the 10%, which is $5 out of it. And anything over and above in the pot then, of course, is not raked anymore. But if you have bonus hands, like extra $100 for 4 of a kinds, or a jackpot for the royal flush or something like that, then the casinos will rake probably an extra $1 or $2 from that goes to the jackpot or the progressives and what those are. So generally speaking, in most low limit or low buy-in, no limit games, cash games in Las Vegas, you will get raked around 10% with a maximum of $5 and either $1 or $2 extra. So anywhere from $5 to $7. Now, if you're playing in higher limit games, then there's a time charge. And that basically means that the pot doesn't get raked, but every player at the table is charged a time charge. And that varies depending on the game. It could be $5 every half hour or $6 every half hour. It just depends on the nature of the game and the casino where you are. Upscale casinos will probably charge you more. Mid-range casinos a little bit less, but you're better off just asking at the poker room what the rake is and so forth. Okay, so we got another question there, my friend?
The question that came up was, what Vegas casino has the best or the most payout in slots?
Best casinos, okay. It's not a specific casino per se, but it's a range and reason. For example, the downtown Las Vegas casinos have better paybacks on slot machines than the Strip. The Strip is the major casino corporations are notorious for basically having what's called very tight machines. Now, there are some properties on the Las Vegas Strip where they will take as much as 25%, which is the state maximum. The state of Nevada has a minimum payout of slot machines of 75%. So there are some casinos on the Strip that on occasion will charge you the maximum, which is 25%, which is absolutely disgusting in my book. And now, without actually trying to mention some games, some specific casinos, and trying to get myself into legal trouble, the way that you can tell is by just logging on to the financial pages of your favorite newspaper or website and find out which casinos are in bankruptcy, because those are the ones that usually tighten their slots in order to get more cash revenue in there. But generally speaking, on the Las Vegas Strip, the average hold for a penny machine is between 12 and 16%. The average hold for dollar slots and up is about anywhere from 6.5% to about 8.5%. There are some casinos that will pay back 98% on some of their premium dollar slots or $5 slots on thereafter. But generally speaking, the range is between about 6 and 16%, depending on which kind of casino and games are. Now, downtown Las Vegas, it's a few percentages better. So if a strip casino will charge you 16% on a slot machine, downtown casino will probably be about 12%. But the best places to play is what's called the locals casinos. Those are the ones off the strip, like station casinos or Gold Coast or the Orleans or Red Rock Station or Palace Station or Sam's Town or Sunset Station and so forth. These casinos off the strips are the best. Yes,
someone wants to know, if you're playing a slot machine, max bet or no max bet, does that affect the frequency? It kind of cut off the question, but I'm assuming the frequency of, say, how it's going to pay out.
Yeah, that's a very, very good question, and it's one of the ones that's very important to answer in this book that I wrote, Great Casino Slots. This is volume 4, but there is volumes 1, 2, and 3 as well that are still available. And one of the things that I show you in those books is those games where you can play the minimum number of credits and still have the same optimum payback percentage versus those games where you actually have to play the max bet or the bonus bet. There are many modern slot machines that have a difference in them. For example, there is the minimum bet, but you also have to have the option for the side bet to unlock all of the potential. So for example, if the game is 40 cents to play, then there will be a button that says play, say, a power pay or extra pay or some of those things, and that'll cost you an extra 10 cents. So the minimum then will be 50 cents for that game. And so those are the games where you have to watch out for. But before I go to the next question, there are also games where some of those will promote themselves as jackpots can hit at any time with any bet. And those games you can play the minimum on them and still get the best optimum payback. However, on games like the traditional real slots or some of the newest slots, usually it's better to play max bet. But again, it's important for you to find out more about this, and that's one of the reasons why I write these books, because in them I tell you what to look for. Okay, we got another question there?
Yes, we've got several questions. All right. The Wheel of Fortune slots,
yes,
25-cent machines, are those good to play while you're on the strip? I assume that means casinos that are strip-based, versus local casinos and things like that.
Yes, those. Now, with Wheel of Fortune, these is called what's called wide area progressives. That's WAP, or WAP for short. And what that means is that this is a slot machine that is linked to a great many casinos and slot machines throughout the state of Nevada. And including, if those are also available in other states and other jurisdictions, including tribal and Indian gaming and so forth. But the ones in Nevada are linked to a great many casinos, and what happens is that every single play in them from any machine goes to contributing to the progressive jackpot. Now, those machines do not differentiate between either the Strip, downtown, locals, or any other casino. Because they are a wide area progressives, they are covered by a very special rule under Nevada Gaming Control Board regulations, and they all must have the same payback and the same withholding percentage. And so it does not matter if you play Wheel of Fortune 25 cents on the Strip, or in downtown, or in Reno, or in Laughlin, or anywhere else. They're all the same.
Are slots ever rigged to not pay out?
Yeah, that's a very, very good question. I've had this question asked many, many years. I've been in Las Vegas for a very long time. And the question dates back to the time when slot machines were still one of those clunky ones where you would put in a silver dollar and you pull the handle, and there's mechanical reels in there. They go clang, 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 and then if they line up the cherries or the bars or the sevens, then you get a jackpot. Well, they used to be able to be rigged because it was easy, because all you had to do is put in a little bit of a lead weight, like the ones that you have on a fishing lure, and that would alter the frequency in which it would spin or where it would land. So it was easy to do that. Later on, when there were electromechanical slot machines, there were people that could do that by inserting a little mirror inside to trick the machine, or use a slide, which is a little coin on a string, and you put it in, you trick the machine. All sorts of different tricks like that. But in modern casinos, where every single slot machine is a computer, and it does not matter what it looks like, it does not matter if it has barrels or reels or handles to pull or buttons to push, every one of them is a computer. And most of them are really just video displays, even if they look like they have reels.
All right, hold on. But I'm going to challenge you on that, because I'm going to go on with the question. The fact that it is a computer means it can be programmed to not pay out. So the question is, forget about what 20 years ago.
Right.
Today, he's asking, can slot machines be rigged to not pay out?
Okay, I will answer that now directly. The answer is no. And the reason why the answer is no is because the chip that contains the computer program is a sealed chip that can only be replaced under the supervision of a gaming control board agent, which means that nobody in the casino, whether the chip is located in a machine or whether it is located in a central server, which then sends the game to the machines on the casino floor, it doesn't matter. It is a sealed chip, and in order for it to be changed, the gaming control board agent has to be present with the casino executives and personnel to do it. And the only way that anyone can change the casino percentage is to either change the chip itself under the supervision of the game control board agent, or in the case of server-based gaming, they can go to the menu and change the payback percentage, say from 86% payback to 88% payback. But every single one of those has already been pre-authorized by the Gaming Control Board. which means that no one has access to actually changing the program that runs the chip itself. That is not possible. Let me qualify that somewhat. Can a computer expert rewrite the code if they can get access to the chip? Yes, that is always possible. Every single thing is possible. Your bank account can be hacked by somebody sitting somewhere, in one of the foreign countries or whatever. But the casino industry will never, ever voluntarily conspire to change the payback of the slot machines to make it to not pay. And here's why. The casinos make $1 billion a month in profit. They will not risk the gaming license, which gives them that right, just to eke out an extra few $100 or a few $1,000 from you on that one slot machine. That is no longer possible in today's casino environment. No corporation would risk that kind of money just for trying to rig this.
All right, there's another question, continuing on with what you said, and I'm going to expand on the question, because the question was, are slots really random? Which I know you're going to say yes. But I'm asking about, at what point does the computer determine the payout? Is it, I know it's constantly moving, the random generator.
Right.
Is it when you put the coins in? Is it when you hit the button to say play? Exactly at what moment does the computer stop running its little program and go, here's the payout?
Okay, that's a very good question. Now, the question was, at what point does the computer select the games and how it pays? Every single slot machine, as I said, is run by a computer, and the computer continuously cycles through its universe of possible options. Now, modern slot machines have what's called a closed universe of possibilities, and they have about a 3-tier randomization program. It's no longer just a random number generator. There are now programs that basically call for a metagame program which scrambles the scramble, and it's a continuing scramble, so that every instant there's a different point in the universe where the computer picks the binary code, which then equates to a specific symbol on the reel. Now, every single computer will trigger about 1,000 times per second. And it will trigger this by, think of it as a big ball, think of it as a soccer ball or a beach ball, inside of which are millions of items of binary code. And at any random point, the computer picks one here and one there and one here and one there and one there, and then meshes them together, and that equates a binary code that says display cherry, or display this particular picture. And this goes on all the time, whether somebody's playing the machine or not. Now, at the instant that you either drop a coin in the machine, if it still takes coin, or in the modern slot machines, at the instant that you press the play button, that computer will pick that random configuration out of that random selection of available universe, and it'll trigger one of the 1,000 or so symbols that trigger every second, and select those and display them. Now, when that happens, everything has already been picked. If you get into the bonus round, what you get into the bonus round has been predetermined at the instant you press that button. So it doesn't matter how many things you pick or how long you wait for the whiz-bang to go around. All of that is decided at the instant you press the button. Now, this is for what's called passive slot machines. There is a new breed of slot machines now coming to the floor called SkillBasedSlots. And I mentioned one of them here in this book, which is called Space Invaders. Now, I don't know if any of you remember a game called Space Invaders.
Hold longer so people can...
Oh, okay. I just wanted to, in this book, there's a game called Space Invaders. It's a slot machines from WMS. And I don't know if any of you remember the time back in the 80s or so where there were these arcade games called Space Invaders. I used to play them all the time. And basically the idea was to shoot down the Space Invaders and go through different tiers. Well, on this slot machine, when you get into a bonus round, this is called a skill-based game. And there you will have a choice between either a passive round where the machine will play it for you, or a skill-based round. And what that means is that you can actually affect the bonus that you will get. And that means that the result of that is no longer predetermined like it is in the majority of slots. Now what will determine the value of your bonus is how good you are at the game. And that means that if you are very good at playing Space Invaders, or for example, there's another game called Frogger from Konami. So if you're very good at playing Frogger or Space Invaders, you can actually get a better bonus than somebody else would. And that's what's called skill-based gaming. So in those instances, the event is not triggered at the point where you press the button, because all it does is triggers the fact that you will get into the bonus, but then it's your choice of either a passive bonus played by the machine or a skill bonus which is played by you. And if you're good, then you get more than you would otherwise. And that's the difference between what's called passive slots and passive bonuses and skill-based slots. And again, I talk about it in this book as well as the other ones in this series. So what's next on the agenda there, my friend Ziggy?
Is there a difference if you push the button or pull the lever on a slot machine?
Yes, well, pardon me while I take a little bit of a drink over here. On modern slot machines, most of them no longer have handles to pull. Most of them just have play buttons. If a modern slot machine also has a handle to pull, there is no difference whatsoever in either pressing the play button or pulling the handle. The only difference is the time at which you trigger the machine. If you press the button, you trigger it faster than if you have to reach for the handle and then trigger the machine. In the older slots, where you still had to drop coins into the machine, you could actually work the reels by, pulling on the reel and then triggering it and kind of manipulating the way that the machine's reel will come. It's not an exact science, but it was possible at that time, to kind of shake the machine into giving you a pay. But that's no longer possible on today's machines. So the answer is, today's machines, there's no difference between pressing the button or pulling the handle.
Here's a fun question.
All right.
On the old slot machines, if you can even find them, does the coin on the string trick still work?
Yeah, coin on the string. Well, if you're willing to risk about I think 10 years in a Nevada prison, then if you find one of these really old machines, the coin on the string probably could still work. But most of the ones that are still the old style have been retrofitted with different trigger mechanism, which basically will not let you to pull the little coin out, and will snap the string and then jam the machine, and then they will know that you tried that. So the answer would be about 99% no.
All right. I don't even know if these machines still exist. The machines where you stop the reels where you want them to. Someone wants to know, does that make a difference?
Yeah, there are, yes. The machines where you can touch the screen and stop the reels, yes, those exist. In fact, many of the modern slot machines have this option, even if you know about it or not. And the easiest way that you can find it out is just press the play button, and while the reels are spinning, just touch the screen and see if it'll stop any one of those reels. Now, some of those machines actually make it a point of advertising that or publicizing that as an option. However, and an earlier question that I answered is that it makes no difference, because as soon as you trigger the game, and by that I mean as soon as you press the play button or pull the handle or put in the coin or whatever the trigger mechanism is for that slot machine you are playing, at that instant, the entire result, no matter what it is, has already been set in stone, and nothing will change except for skill-based slots, as I described earlier, where when you get to the bonus round and you choose the skill-based slot option, then you will actually be able to play that machine depending on your skill in that particular skill-based bonus round. But the vast majority of games now in the casino, 99% of them, are passive slots, and that means that the moment you trigger the game, everything is determined. So it doesn't matter how many times you touch the screen to stop which reels, you'll get the same result as if you just let the screen spin itself to its final conclusion.